Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course. Brandon Wenzel, come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler review series V's I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. Can't go wrong with chicken wings. I mean, you can. I have. It was a bad time. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, now that I've caught my momentum again, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for today? Well, that happens to be my brand spanking new Boom! Discrepancies shirt. Yeah! Discrepancies are a new metal band out of Missouri that I ran into a few months back at a show. They were on tour with some other bands. I hadn't heard of them at the time, but I ended up really liking their set. I ended up following their stuff and becoming a bigger fan. And really fortunately for me, they played a show literally just yesterday at the time I'm doing this. It was kind of a local showcase. You had a lot of cool local bands going on. And, they weren't exactly local, but they're close enough. And it was fantastic, man. They put on a really great show. Got to, chat with them a little bit after the set. Really nice guys. And, yeah, man, it was just a really great time. I got some videos of their set. They are on my channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I'm definitely a fan. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, folks, hopefully these wings don't suck. I have had bad wings. I reviewed some barbecue wings from Little Caesars. That review is up. But I don't think I'm going to run into that problem because, folks, I'm reviewing wings from, boom, Wing Snob. Yeah! So, Wing Snob is a chain of chicken wing places that does not originate from Illinois. I forget where it originates from off the top of my head. But they've been expanding quite a bit. They're trying to take on the big guys like Wingstop, Buffalo Wild Wings, and what have you. And I've reviewed a few flavors from them now. This is in their West Chicago location. This place just opened up, I think, like maybe a month ago or something like that, at the time I'm doing this. I just got through reviewing their awesome sauce wings, and now I'm going to be reviewing some, boom, Buffalo Parmesan wings. Yeah! Funny thing is, they don't label what the thing is, which would be nice. I'm just adding that as a friendly critique. They don't label what type of wings they are, so I had to, open them up to get an idea, which ones I was grabbing. Soon as I open these up, whew, you could smell the barbecue, or smell the buffalo sauce on them. And yeah, they're obviously got the Parmesan on them, but yeah, the buffalo smell was like, funk. So, let's get a thing for the thing here. Let's go like this. Ha 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 ha! Let's try out some Parmesan buffalo wings. Mmm. Mmm. That's really That's really tasty. I've had plenty of buffalo wings, and I've had plenty of buffalo wings where they tried to blend the buffalo with different things, with ranch or barbecue or what have you. And typically, it's not the most successful thing, just because you end up kind of taking away from the buffalo sauce. Because, it's buffalo sauce. You want it to be tangy, you have a little bit of heat to it. In this case, the Parmesan works really well because it's taking nothing away from the buffalo sauce, and it's just imparting, a little bit of that cheesy Parmesan flavor. These are nice. And the buffalo sauce is actually really tasty. Now, I will say, for myself personally, I do prefer buffalo sauce with a little bit more spank than this. I don't need them to be crazy. But I like that little bit of tanginess, little bit of heat, to kind of kick you in the back of the throat. These, very little tanginess, very little heat. You do get a little something at the back of the throat, but I think for myself personally, I would just like these to just have a little bit more extra, little oomph to it, But I do like what the Parmesan brings in, and I really like the flavor of the buffalo sauce, because I don't need it to be all tang and, heat. It's good that it's got a really nice flavor. That definitely is, I would say, sort of the shining aspect of it, is that the buffalo flavor is really nice. But yeah, these are tasty. The wings themselves, I haven't had any problems with any of the wings I've ordered from Wingstop. They're always juicy on the inside, little crispness on the outside. And I would say, because they, like I said, they are sort of going up against like Wingstop and Buffalo Wild Wings. I would say that they're comparable, if maybe a little bit better than those two locations. However, I will say if you've got like a local spot, like for me, Dak Dak or even Fry and Wings, those are places local to Illinois. I'd say they personally outclass Wing Snob a little bit, but Wing Snob, they're doing some good work, and I feel like they're working well within the field. Again, sort of the competitive field that they're going into. They're doing a good job. So far all the flavors have been tasty. They definitely know what they're doing with their wings. But two questions have to be asked. Would I get these again? Would I recommend them? I have to go with yes and yes. In fact, I think that out of the 4 flavors I've had so far, I don't think they'd be my personal favorite. But I'd say maybe they'd probably be in like the number 2 slot, I would say, out of the 4. Because yeah, I like the taste of the buffalo sauce, and even though again I personally would prefer some ones with a little, again, that extra oomph to them, I don't mind these being at the level that they're at. It's more just a slight critique, because again, I think the flavor on them is just really nice, and I think that Parmesan, gives it a little something extra, And to be fair, if they had that extra spank, that extra oomph I was talking about, that might completely outweigh, anything that the Parmesan could add. So, it might have been the smarter choice. But, if I'm recommending them, I am just going to say, like I said, if you're like me and you do prefer a buffalo sauce that's, got that to it, this ain't that, But if you like that buffalo flavor and maybe you don't like, that, extra tanginess, that extra heat, these are perfect for you. And I think that these would be great in that, while they do have a little something to them, a little tiny kick, they're pretty inoffensive. They're probably something that most people could get into because buffalo sauce is a good flavor. And again, you've got that extra Parmesan going for it. So, and the flavors blend well. So I do think I would recommend it. But 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there and have yourselves a truly buffalo sauce-tastic rest of your life. Because buffalo sauce is good, even on crappy rainy days. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your personal preference on the buffalo sauce? Do you like it tangy? Do you like it heat-wise? Or, do you like it hot? Or do you prefer, just more straight flavor? Because there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, One of my favorite, hot sauces as kind of just a general go-to sauce is Valentina sauce. And Valentina sauce ain't hot. It's got a little spank to it, but, it's really more of just a flavor sauce. It's, kind of what works out nicely. But like I said, everybody's different, so let me know what your take is, though.